All right, let's talk a little bit about what you get if you want to buy my project Stinson 108-1. It's not just the airframe, it's all of this other stuff. So let's kind of walk you through that. So this airplane is a 108-1 that went up on its nose. That's why we're replacing the front. The doors have been cut to patroller doors, and it's got a Kydex interior in it. Nice and lightweight. The panel will be lightweight, newer avionics as well. So instead of increasing the engine horsepower from 150 to 165, I'm just trying to use the 150, go with a lighter weight, and get the same performance. It does have a aluminum floor in it. And fuselage has all been done. It's got new cables. There's the baggage compartment. Since it's a -1, it's got the baggage compartment. There's the vertical stabilizer. It's got a 3200 Scott tail wheel. And that was actually rebuilt by Gary. Gosh, now I can't remember Gary's last name, but he's a Stinson guru. Here there's two 150 horse engines and probably 2.5 sets of cylinders. There's one good crankshaft that's -10, but 2 crankcases, all the cylinders, all the stuff, and all new parts too for liners and bearings, gaskets, things like that. And I'll put up a list of that here. Also, you're looking on this side, these are all the parts that go on this airplane. So out of all of the parts that I've got, these are the parts that are destined for that airplane. And I don't know, we've got things like a rebuilt carburetor by Ted, 2 magnetos that have already been rebuilt. I've got, altimeters, all that kind of stuff rebuilt in boxes. Now, this is kind of interesting. There is a alternator there. Will need some work, but that's the whole idea, is to put the alternator on. Some old radios. I don't know whether we use those or not, but came across them. Whole bunch of other parts that go on. Then you've got this aileron is not for my airplane. That's an extra. These lift struts are for this aircraft. All of the flight controls over there are for this aircraft. So the 2 elevators, the 2 flaps, and 2 ailerons are for this airplane. I've got 1, 2, 3 different stabilizers. Actually, there's 4 horizontal stabilizers. They are all not in great shape. Like you can see, that one's got a dent in the front of them, but they're good for parts or rebuilding. This is an extra flap. That's another extra horizontal stab. There's an extra cowling. Those exhaust parts are for my airplane. This wing is for this airplane. Thing that's been taking me a little bit of time is rebuilding this flap hinge because it got cracked. So getting that all riveted in. But this wing is for this airplane. Then this wing is for this airplane as well. And then I've got another wing up here that's a spare. I also have a lot of spare top and upper and lower formers. And there's some more upper and lower formers. I've got 2 -3 vertical stabilizers. Only one of them is airworthy, one of them is corroded. But then up here, just look at all this stuff. Lower cowling, sets of flaps, probably 4 or 5 other lower cowlings, doors. What have we got up there? Some not so great rudders, an aileron, 2 engine mounts. These boxes are all exhausts, and they are air intake boxes for the carb and air mix valve boxes that go on the firewall. And we've got a whole bunch of other doors. We have more fuel tanks. 2 of them will go on this airplane, 2 of them are extra. Engine baffles, stuff like that. Then we have all of these parts. So all types of things, door hinges, oil cooler mounts. What is this one? Those are nav lights, fuel caps. These are wing tie downs, brakes, belt cranks. And you can see all kinds of stuff. Prop spacers. And then I got a whole nother one of those over here. You know, there's a flap handle. There's a throttle quadrant and primer supports, wheel pants, a flap actuator, gear pulleys. Yeah, you can see all that stuff. And reconditioned spark plugs, which are the REJ38s. Oh yeah, those are fuel tank kits. But then a whole bunch of the, oh gosh, I can't even remember which one that is. C10S spark plugs that are new, never opened. A whole bunch of extra spark plugs. Magneto gears, magneto cushions. Got a whole bunch of the clamps that go on the fuselage. Some Voyager yoke plates, 3D printed, that are going to go on my airplane. These are some door handles that I wanted to use on the outside of the doors. All right, more parts that you get. A whole bunch of elevators here, lift struts, seat cushions, a whole bunch of nose bowls, a whole bunch of window D-frames, and those are the A-pillars that go on the vertical in front, right behind the windshield. Got a whole bunch of grills, some rudder pedals, a whole bunch of extra tin, tons of wheel pants. There's a full set over here that came with my airplane. There's another really great set right there, a couple of extras. Some really beautifully well done brand new yokes like that, painted, little tan color there. You've got some whole box of seat belts, whole bunch of panels, instrument panels, some yokes, another box full of parts. This is the website that has everything about the rebuild. On the right, you can see all the different systems. You can click into all the various posts. There's also a chronological blog. Here at the very top, you'll see some links, like one that says Need Stinson Parts. That'll take you to more information about all the parts that I have. And this link will take you right to the app that has all the parts. This aircraft is currently registered to me and does have a data plate. You'll not find that often in projects. So I really like the AD log system, so that's what I put the airplane under when I bought it. This is the original operating manual for the aircraft. And these are 2 of the 3 aircraft logs. Now, log number 1 from the factory we could not find, but the logs start at 2, go to 3, and there's actually a 4th. And Logbook number 2 starts in 1951. I also, in the parts, have a Airwolf oil filter that I bought, and this is all the STC for that. Okay, so let's wrap this thing up. If you want everything that's included in this hanger, which, let's go through this again, includes this fuselage, the good vertical stabilizer, the left wing and the right wing, the flight controls, the 2 engines, all of these parts. But then let's talk about all the other parts you get. All of these extra Stinson parts, all the extra wings, all the extra doors, cowlings, mufflers, doors, fuel tanks, and all of that. All of these. A ton of parts for a Stinson. No, you don't get that. I'm keeping this one. So what I want to do is clear out this hangar and be able to put a flying airplane in here that I can enjoy with my children. You get a project that's already going up. It's on its way up, not down. And you could have an awesome flying Stinson 108.